Welcome to Higher Perspective Chats with Callie and Angela.
Well, it's all about vision. I mean, how you perceive something is, like like that day that I told you I didn't meditate, somebody was like, "You gotta help me get these kids off the bus." Blah, blah, blah. Like all the teachers were in a meeting and I was standing there holding the door open, which is what we do as paras, but there weren't other paras to help get kids off the bus. And one of the paras that was out there that normally is never out there was like, "You gotta help me." And so so it was about my perception in the moment. Like she was just like stressed, like there's nobody to get these kids off the bus. There's a bunch of kids with one-on-ones, meaning they're like we physically take their hands and we walk them to their classrooms. um but there was nobody there to do it. And so she's looking at me like, why the hell aren't you out here helping me, when I was thinking that I was holding the door open for the kids coming off the bus, but she wasn't letting anybody off the bus. So we were kind of confused by it. And then the fact that she was yelling was like, do I take, you know what I mean? Like to her, it's nothing. This is how she communicates, right? To me, it was like, you can communicate nicer, you know? You didn't have to yell. You didn't have to, because it kind of came out really like rude. I thought. Um, and so, you know what I mean? Like if maybe I had been in a better place that day, I wouldn't have taken it so rudely. I mean, it wasn't rude to where I was, like mad at her like all day, but it was like, dude, you don't have to crawl up my ass about it, basically. Um, so it's like, yeah, so like our interpretation of things is everything. If I'd have been in a better place, I may not have cared that she came off that way. You know what I'm saying? Like I would have been like, oh yeah, I'm out there. I mean, I helped her anyway, but I wouldn't have kind of been a little irritated by it. So, and then, you know, that like just being irritated, like in my mood about it, I could have had a much better day from the get-go, like feeling better
Mm.
wise, rather than kind of, oh, like that happened and then the next thing happened and then the next thing happened. And by the end of the day it was like, kind of a crappy day. And so, just fostering those feelings of, just kind of, and we all have them, but it having less of them. So yeah, so you set your day with a meditation like this, with peace and, you know and love and everything else. Like, I could have just blown that off in humor if I did, or if I had already set that vibration for my day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I know that about you. I was
Yeah.
thinking about this morning before we came together here today. And I was just thinking about how different you are because I've known you for a long time. And back in the day before you had children, I saw a really angry side of you. And you are not like that anymore. You, because you have had children, you have come to just blow things off that like blow my mind. Like, oh my God, that would irritate me so badly. But you've come to realize like it's not worth interrupting my peace or my good day. I'm not going to be pissed off about that. Or at least you're not going to hang on to being pissed off about it for more than a minute, if even that. You get over it, or you don't even see it as being annoying in the first place. You're like, that's life, and I love my children, and I love being a mother, and I'm doing things differently. And my family is different. You guys are tight, and you have such a beautiful flow and harmony to your family life from what I've experienced and perceived myself. That's how I see it. Again, everything is perception, but yeah, it blows my mind how you've come to really um, learn to go with the flow of things and let things roll off your back and smile and genuinely like find humor in life and feel good. It's incredible. And I feel like it's because you had kids. That really, I would imagine, like puts you to the test for your patience and all of that. And I don't know, I just feel like you passed with flying colors. It's so amazing.
I think kids are part of the test, but I don't think I'm like this because of my kids. I think
Yeah.
I'm like this because I want to be. I've set the
Uh-huh.
intention to be happier,
And they
to not,
really give you the opportunity
yeah,
to
to
demonstrate that in a
yeah,
really big way. So
yeah,
big.
that's it. That's it. Exactly.
Mhm. But you're right, it's been your choice.
Yeah. And I use things like meditation and the course and studying the law of attraction, all the things we're into. I use it and I apply it. And motherhood is just like you were saying, it's a way to apply it. It's a way to be who you are, like every minute, every second of every day. Because if you're not moving towards happy, right, you're moving towards not happy. And not happy can lead to all kinds of things that's not happy.
Right? Because that's momentum. The better it
Yes.
gets, the better it gets.
Yeah.
And the worse it gets, the worse it gets. Unless you can bring yourself back into neutral and just chill out for a little bit, or swing your momentum, swing your focus back onto the good stuff, and then
Yeah.
things get better and better and
But
better and better.
yeah, but all that's a choice. Again, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to set the intention to feel better about this before it gets out of control. And I'm so glad that you've known me long enough to know that. The last kind of thing that I had that day was was with some people from church, and I was kind of called out in a church meeting for something that I didn't think was appropriate for, and most of the committee members also didn't think it was was appropriate. And I was told that I received this criticism with with grace and humility and everything, and I'm thinking it came at the end of a long day. I could have done better. I responded better, but I just wasn't able to. And it's not like we were arguing or anything in the meeting, but I just very sternly held my ground about what I believed, what I did, and what I thought was true about it. um and and I was telling, like, the our minister had called me to kind of wave a white flag, basically, to see if I was okay to extend the apologies of the other person. And I said, you know what, I totally get her, what she's saying. That was me 10 years ago. That was me. I get it. But my response today, um because she said, thank you for being so gracious and all that with her, I thought you handled it very well. I said, like, that is a result of 10, 15 years of meditation and spiritual work and breakthroughs and patience. If this would have happened 15 years ago, it would have been like knockdown, drag out, bloody war. Like, would not have been pretty. And when I tell people that, I don't know if they believe me because
Yeah.
they see
They
me
don't
now and
know
they
any
couldn't
different.
even imagine that. Yeah. So I'm so glad that you're a witness to that, because it's like, no, I really wasn't that nice. I mean, I was nice, but not this nice. My husband too, who's been with me through thick and thin. We were not the enlightened, happy family couple now. Back then, I mean, we had our moments, definitely, but we had to grow a lot.
You went
and
through a lot together
and yeah,
that long
yeah,
ago, yeah.
and we decided to stick
And you
together.
stuck it out.
Yeah, mainly because we just were too lazy to find to start over. I think, like, um it was just easier to stay together, but there was always the vision of, we can make this better, we can do better than
Right.
this.
And you love each other and
Yeah.
you enjoy being together. You're good partners. You're great partners.
Yeah.
Again, in my
Yeah.
humble opinion.
So yes, you've seen me. I have a witness. I have made it through.
Yeah, it's something. I'm just gonna say
So yeah,
something.
these spiritual things that we bring up, they work. They work, but I think the key to them is being able to apply them in your life. I mean, we can see people read the Bible or read the course all they want, and if you're not applying it, you're not applying, like, the practicum of how to love, how to forgive, how to, not let things bug you, then what is, when what are you doing with it? It's not really going to work. But it's not
Yeah.
necessarily its fault. It's just that you're not applying it. You got
If
to.
you're not applying scripture and the messages that you can get from the Bible, that means you are not reaping the rewards that are meant for you from God. They are God's promise to us. So reap them, sow them, and use them. But that means you must apply them, I think.
Yeah,
It's a
absolutely.
choice. You have to choose to use it. Can have a tool, but it doesn't do you any good if you don't pick it up and actually use it.
Hmm.
And they're all around us. There's so many tools out there now. There's the Bible, there are different religious texts with tools in them and different approaches from different angles and beliefs and non-beliefs even. Yeah, there are all kinds of ways for us to seek and actually find and feel and have and hold and share peace, real peace within ourselves every day to some degree, every day.
Yeah. I do want to just say that okay, so I am training to be a commissioned lay minister with my church.
Okay.
My church is Unitarian Universalism. Are those dogs bothering? Can you hear
I
them?
can't hear them.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Um, and so Unitarian Universalism, we have 7 principles. And so like there's the inherent dignity and worth of each person. And I really should pull them up because I want to say these word for word. Um, can you hear them
Cool.
now? The
No,
dog. Okay.
no. How many are there, Callie?
There's 7.
Okay.
So, the inherent worth and dignity of each person, justice, equality, and compassion in human relations, um, acceptance of one another and encouragement to spiritual growth, a free and responsible search for truth and meaning, the right to conscience and the use of democratic process within our congregation and society, the goal of world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all, and the respect for the interdependent web of all existence in which we're a part of. And so if you break
Wow,
it
I've
down,
never known about those.
yeah, yeah.
Thank you for
So
sharing that.
so within these principles, you can come believing whatever it is you want, right? So we have Christians, we have Jews, we have Muslims, we have atheists, we have humanists, we have like, I mean, I call myself a UU, but I like to jokingly say on Samhain, I'm pagan. On Christmas, I'm Christian. On Easter, I'm whatever I want to be. So the last service that I just did was on Nowruz, and Nowruz is the spring equinox in um, well in Iran, but but a lot of Muslim people celebrate Nowruz. So it's like the eastern part of the world. Um, so, if you come, so within those principles, you want to come worshiping whoever you want. I mean, we don't believe in everything, right? So this was the running joke the other day at church. Well, we don't believe in everything. We don't believe in misogyny. We don't believe in white supremacy, you know. But if the backdrop of our principles, you come believe, you don't believe in God, that's fine, but we do believe in the dignity of each person, and that also means like we give women have the right to choose. We have the right to choose to do with our own bodies. We view immigrants and illegal aliens as people, right? We also believe in science. So for me, that's a big thing because to me, there's a lot of stuff that's out there in spirituality. But I tend to believe that we're here on planet Earth. Yes, we have our own experiences in the realm of spirituality, and I respect all that. But ultimately, the earth is round. We've seen it, we've documented it. There's the backdrop of science. So my church is made up of lots of people that were professors, that are professors out at our state school, the University of Northern Iowa. Um, People in politics. We've had our state legislator as a member. And then, like, there's a lot of people that are politically active. So the hands off demonstration, there was a ton of people out there from my church there. I was not at that one, but I've been involved in other political things. So I hosted Andrew Yang when he was running for president at our church, and I did kind of um, a mom's interview kind of meeting, like hometown meeting with him. So, because universal basic income is something that I feel would benefit everybody, and it's in my vortex of what we would like to see happen for the country and maybe the world.